What a warm feeling, right? Just like the heart of a true friendship. Hey there, Broniacs. Welcome back to Bronze Over Brains. I'm your man, Bronson Layton, of course, and guys, here we are, April 1st. It's that month that has really started it all, hasn't it? In my case, it's not just the month that got me aware of my autism, but it's actually the start of this channel, actually. That's right, Broniacs. We are nearing the 1-year anniversary of Bronze Over Brains. I can't believe we have made it this far. I'm going to express my excitement about the 1-year anniversary mark right when we are like a week before it happens, you know? In this vlog, guys, I just want to talk about something crucial, something that's affecting our world today, and it's something that's actually been affecting our world for many years. And do you know what it is? That's right. As the title of this video suggests, I want to talk about the effects of bullying. Bullying, it's not really what I'd consider to be my favorite topic for discussion, but it is, however, something worth talking about to enlighten people about what the damage it does and how bad it makes people feel on both sides of the subject. To begin, I, of course, have been a former victim of bullying myself. What a story to dive into, right? I mean, over the past several months, you have looked at me for answers on the positives of autism and what it's like to overcome social challenges. And believe you me, bullying was one of those challenges that I could never, ever forget. But what better way to talk about dealing with bullies than with experience? Well, that's where I'm going to start. When I was a little kid, prior to when I discovered I had autism, I was never really the kid with the in crowd, the kind that would like to collect Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading cards and playing on Game Boys and all that. Well, I had a Game Boy of my own, but you get the idea. I had always loved to collect action figures. Something a lot of people close to me know. I was infamous for playing with action figures and reenacting action scenes, and I would take them everywhere, like literally anywhere. A restaurant, a football game, a birthday party. I took them with me when we went clothes shopping. But anyway, I loved playing with action figures, and I took them everywhere. I even brought them with me to school. And it was like that from 1st to 4th grade, of course. And then one day in 4th grade, we had this kid in our class who, I'm not going to say his name, but he was kind of the hard-fisted kind of kid who would take one look at you and he would expect you to have complete and instant intimidation when you looked at him. And so there I am, one day in class, playing with my Superman and Lex Luthor action figure, and here comes this intimidating kid. And he charms me into trading it for a brand new Hot Wheel. I don't know how I fell for that trick back then, give me a break, but I took the Hot Wheel. And in exchange, I gave him my Lex Luthor action figure. And so, I never saw that action figure again. A week went by, and after that, I kind of antagonized this kid when he needed help with homework. And so I got flustered, and then I turned my back from helping him. This wasn't like during a test or anything. This was actual homework. And it was a time when we had to do like long addition, and math is not really my best subject. Anyway, he got irritated that I got irritated, And then the next day after that homework assignment, he walks up to me and he says, "I fed your Lex Luthor action figure to my fish." I bought it, and it made me think, did he have a piranha? To this day, I don't even know if that was true or not, but I just went with it. And I was heartbroken that I lost that action figure, because it was like a vintage item of sorts to me back then. And in the years that followed, he got less and less intimidating. He went so far as to slam me against a locker one time, and he tried coercing me into a fight. And we know that violence is never the answer. Here is the kicker. Instead of pushing back, I told him, "You know, you're just trying to make yourself look big because you scare everyone easily. If you want respect, you got to earn it. You can't just expect people to respect you and you be like the whole earth to them. That's not going to get you far in life." In reality, I gave him the short version, and I said, "Back off." He left me alone after that, surprisingly. He did, move away shortly before we started high school, but I hear stories about him from time to time, and he seems to be doing okay. And to this day, I don't hold a grudge for that action figure. I don't hold a grudge for being slammed against a locker. You just let it go. That's what I did, and I made peace with that, and I hope that guy's doing all right these days. And now I want to talk about the bullying issue with you directly, Broniacs. I'm sure some of you have at least once in your life dealt with someone who pushed you around, called you nasty names, or humiliated you one way or another. That's what I want to talk about, is lending you some advice. When it comes to bullies, even though they may appear like they're attacking you, they really deep down have no intention of hurting you. Maybe they had a bad day, they had something awful happen to them recently. Who knows? There's a number of factors. But bullies, sometimes they want to do this stuff for attention. And usually that attention is wanting a friend, but thinking that being nice to people is like a weak resource or something. To those who are victims of bullies, let me tell you this. Just ignore them if they're giving you a hard time. I'm sure you've heard someone tell you this before, but if you've heard that more than once or twice, heed to that, because it is worth listening to. It is great advice to take. And in reality, there is no weakness in showing restraint against violence. If you're literally hit by a bully, do not fight back. That'll land you in more trouble than you had intended in the first place. Try talking to these people, and if they won't listen, walk away. Do not give in to violence. Don't fight back. And if you're a young kid or teenager, tell an adult about this and they can help you. I know that your peers have said that tattletelling is like a wimpy thing to do, but it's not. It's the right thing to do. I told on a lot of people myself, and it never made me feel stupid, no matter what my friends had told me. If you manage to make friends with a guy or a girl who bullied you, that's great. But don't try to let them take you down a dark path if they start manipulating your thinking. For instance, I knew a guy once who, I don't think he ever treated me harshly, but I've seen him yell. I've seen him yell to my classmates when he'd have to go to the restroom or something. He'd get up right in their grill and just push them away. He never once yelled at me because he always looked at me like I was the nice guy, but I knew something was wrong. Nothing ever went his way, and I get that. So I tried talking to him once, and we bonded over the fact that we both like guitar. The point I'm getting in that story, Broniacs, is try to find some common ground with them. Good common ground. Don't fall for any drinking. Don't fall for any stealing, smoking, rebelling against your parents. That kind of influence will send you down the wrong path, and potentially it might make you the bully. Don't become the bully. And for you guys out there that have had a hard time, if you've picked on people before, I get that also. But just remember, nobody's out there to hurt you. Nobody's out there to make you feel weak or inferior, or even so much as make you less than a human being. That is no one's intention. Just like I gave the victims of bullying this advice, just talk to someone. Making friends rather than enemies is a great step to take. And making friends is going to get you far in life. You make friends, you make great resources, and you succeed in life through those resources. And before you know it, you have a network of people who actually respect you. And just think of this. All of that succession has happened from that one point in your life when you did not give in to violence or anger. I have someone who would like to share his testimony with bullying. As he'll explain, he says that he was a former bully himself, but listen to how his story has changed and what his perspective on bullying is. And I'm going to let him take it away from here.
Good evening, Bronze Over Brains. My name is Travis Whitworth. My friend Bronson has asked me to send a video of myself answering 5 questions he has for today's blog. If you're wondering why I'm sending a video instead of being there in person, I live in Glasgow, Kentucky, and my car needs a transmission sensor fixed, so that does kind of put a damper in things. So, also, my phone doesn't have much storage space, so without further ado, question number 1. Have you ever encountered bullies before? And that question is a big old yes. There's actually a long list, but I'm actually going to keep things short and use my recent experience. I actually got bullied with my former job. I just quit this job and got a better one because of it. So question number 2. If so, could you please give an example of a time when you were a victim of bullying? The one instance I'm actually going to use is one of my coworkers. I cosplay as Spider-Man. I'm a big nerd, if you couldn't tell by the 2 posters I have hanging in the nerd cave. We were in the break room, and she was having a bad day. She was having a very rough day. I could tell. I was trying to comfort her. And she was complaining about her son-in-law. Her son-in-law apparently is a gamer and won't get off the couch for games. And I said, wow, that's kind of immature for a man his age. And then she looked at me and said, in all due respect, Travis, how can you call yourself mature when you dress up as Spider-Man? And this was a constant thing. She would always bash on me for being a nerd, bash on me for being who I was. And question number 3 says, how are you able to ultimately deal with your bully problem? There were actually a few ways to handle this. I, at first, told her, yes, I may cosplay and like Spider-Man, but that doesn't mean I am not mature. If anything, the first thing I do when I get my paycheck is I have to pay rent and bills. I live in this house by myself, so I have to sustain myself and make sure I'm very well taken care of. Another thing is I had to go to management because even though I did tell her that I would continue to post pictures of my cosplay, she would comments saying rude things. I would try to play it off as a joke, give her the benefit of the doubt, but I did end up having to go to management. However, it wasn't just her, it was multiple cases, so I eventually had to just find another job because it got so bad. Number 4 is there any advice that you could give to our viewers about dealing with bullies? I answer this question not only as a victim of bullying, but as a former cyberbullying myself. First and ultimate advice I have is sit down and talk with them. Normally when somebody picks on another person, it's because they are hurting from somewhere else. I was a cyberbully because I held in a lot of hate and anger towards a lot of people. It wasn't until I met my lovely fiance that she could sit down with me and talk with me and ultimately learn to move on past these emotions and learn how to handle things the correct way. Not all bullies are bad. They are just people who have been hurt and don't know how else to take it out. It is up to us to figure out why they're hurting and how we can help them be better people. Question number 5 is, what do you think can be done to prevent bullying? Obviously, bullying comes from negative emotions. A lot of times they are feeling hurt and alone. This is the case for me. A lot of times when I would tell people, hey, I'm kind of upset, I don't know what I'm doing. Now, most of the time, or in my case, they actually wrote off my issues as meh. Now, to us, these problems may be meh, but if you think about it, if they truly were meh, then they wouldn't be acting the way they would. Some people don't know how to handle situations like you would. I was thankful enough to have someone as wonderful as my fiance sit down with me and talk with me. In fact, I haven't cyberbullied in, I want to say, over a year, and since that has stopped happening, I have actually held down a job. I haven't messaged a lot of people in over a year, and in fact, I'm hoping to start college for web development. Fingers crossed, not only do I get in, but I can actually use my savvy of the web to help people, not hurt people. I hope these questions have been answered. Hopefully they help you. I'm not the best at these kind of things. In fact, if anything, this is about the first time I'm going to be on YouTube. But how I actually came to Bronson's program is by kind of accident. I was looking up reactions of the Aquaman trailer, and one of my friends, I won't say her name, I went to high school with, had a YouTube channel, and I heard her mention him. And I went to his channel, and Bronson is doing something that should have been done a long time ago. I actually thought about doing it, but I didn't have the courage to. So thank you, Bronson, for letting me have this opportunity to talk to your viewers. I do hope that my answer to these questions have helped you or helped somebody turn their life around. If I can give the best advice, it is never, ever too late to change your ways. There's always hope for redemption.
First off, Travis, spot on. Spot on contribution to this vlog, and as well as for your support for the channel. Thank you so much for giving us your testimony about bullying. On a couple of points I want to give out there. You have made a lot of good arguments against the effects of bullying. For one thing, I love Spider-Man, and I get how people can mess with guys like us on that, and sometimes I hold the urge to dress up as Spider-Man nowadays, but what are you going to do, right? And for your coworker, it seems to her, when you mention son-in-law, this particular employee might be at an age where he or she would think that dressing up is kind of like a kid's Halloween tradition, but you're a grown man. You can do whatever you want. They probably just did not understand. There might have been miscommunication there, but if you say this person was giving you hard times even before that and even more complicated situations, I'm going to leave it at that, and I respect your story. I admire your point on redemption for anyone, hope for anyone. That is exactly the grand scheme of things for this vlog, Broniacs. Anyone can change. Even when they're the cruelest of people, they can change if they're led in the right direction. And another thing, Travis, congratulations on your engagement. Well, I'm going to leave the video here, guys. I'm about to call it a night anyway. As you can see, I'm actually out on my patio enjoying a fire in the pit that just ran out. It rained yesterday, so the wood is still wet, so I'm gonna go in. But I hope this video has helped all of you with the path of overcoming bullies. Was it helpful? Please let me know. Please drop a comment in this video, and if you are comfortable enough, share your own experience with us. Do you agree with my dealing with bullies? If not, I respect your opinion either way. Stay tuned for the next vlog, guys. As I mentioned, we are nearing the 1-year anniversary for the beginning of Bronze Over Brains. I cannot wait to get that video going by April 27th. Let's light this candle. And one more time, thank you so much, Travis, for your contribution to this video. You're going to help a lot of people find more friends in life. Who knows? You did an excellent job, and I salute you for having the courage to talk to our viewers. So until next time, Broniacs, this is Bronze Over Brains. I'm Bronson Layton, reminding you to stay brawny. And stay healthy, too. I know this quarantine is driving a lot of people crazy, so stay healthy as well as brawny. Bye, guys.